Today we will talk briefly about word problems that involve decimals. So let's review the table that we had for whole numbers. There are a couple of words meaning a couple of operations. For example, yields, the word yields usually mean an equal, and then multiplied by or multiply by any tensor multiplication, or the word or, of, the word double something, this is like times 2, triple something times 3, all mean multiplication. Then you may have division, and those are sometimes words like shared equally among something. Those kind of words, they will mean division. And then some explicit ones like divide by, divided by, divided into. You can also have different versions of equals. Let's look at those equals. One is, was, word, any tense of equals, or is equal to equals, those kind of things. And let's go back to divide. You have sharing, equally distributed, or the word divide again. And here's another one. When you say quotient, you mean division. And then you have product of, that's a multiplication. Again, times, you can just say times. And then you have minus, square, cube, you know, those are exponents. And you have, again, multiply, those kind of words. So let's go and do some exercises related to those. One common problem might be calculation of an area. Let's say we're talking about area of a square. Area of a square with side 3.2 simply means 3.2 squared. When you go and you multiply 3.2 by 3.2, you'll get 10.24. And then since it's asking area, you'll go meters square. Let's do another problem. Quotient of 3.2 and 5/10. So you may be given a problem where things are spelled out. 3.2 is that. Quotient means division. 5/10 means 0.5. When you do the division by hand, you'll simply get 6.4. How about some other area, like area of rectangle with length 0.5 and width of 0.2. So that's simply 0.5 times 0.2, which will give you 0.1. And since things are in feet, the answer is going to be feet squared. How about I spent $10.2 of my $300. How much do I have left? Okay, it's 300. And there's an invisible decimal point there, 10.2, take it away. When you do the subtraction, you're going to get 80. Here you can put the placeholders here. Since we're talking about dollars, I'll put 80. And you have a 9 and an 8 and a 2. $289.80. Another common problem, how many something in something else? So how many 2.4s in 10.3? When that is asked, all you have to do is divide. And when you divide those two decimals, you're going to get 4.3. Try to do it by hand. What's the average of some numbers? What average means, you add them up. So we are talking about 3 numbers here. And we need to divide by however many things you're adding. In this case, it's 3. When you do that, you'll get 5.57. Average of 3 numbers. So you add 3 things, divide by 3. 4 numbers, you add 4 things, divide by 4. How many quarters in $13.75? How many? Again, the how many question. You have 13.75. A quarter is 0.25. When you do the division, you will get 55 quarters. And make sure you write it in words as well. This one is a little bit tricky. What's the quotient of the sum of 2.3 and 4.5 and 4.6? So you have two n's. You have to see the sum of what and what, this and this. And the second n is by itself, and that goes like quotient of the first thing and the second thing. So let's look at that. So you have quotient of, so you have that. The second thing is 4.6. And what is the first thing? And that was the sum. Sum of what? 2.3 and 4.5. So you have to be kind of careful with these problems. And the division bar is actually a grouping symbol. In other words, you have to add 2.3 and 4.5 first, and then divide by 4.6. When you do that, you get 1.48.